All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's been a crazy couple of days with the draft in the Fields of Dreams League. Steve Tate's going to be going on, I guess, later to show some stuff in Action PC Baseball as far as ratings and the other questions. If you caught our broadcast last night, I did show Buckshot and everybody else that was there how to import your teams into Action PC Baseball to help for roster creation, testing, whatever. So, not everybody owns Action PC Baseball. So, I thought I would do this in the other big, huge game. And this one, of course, one of the advantage of it. Hey, Buckshot, good to see you. So, one of the advantages of out of the park baseball over Action PC Baseball is that it comes with every season. So this one's nice because if you can create anything you can imagine with this. With Action PC, you can, but with the proviso again that you own all the seasons. But this isn't just limited to the Fields of Dreams League. So a lot of people, wanting to create leagues, but more handcraft them as opposed to, doing drafts or things like that, random drafts. Although random drafts are fun. I've shown in the past how to do those in Action PC Baseball, which is really fun to just create a range of years and do everything from just assigning AI, pardon me, assigning AI to do is just randomly drafting. You pick a team and go for it, which is really, really, really fun because you don't know what you're going to get. Hey, Bernie, to actually even handcrafting in that. But with out of the park baseball, even a full price of $39.95, you're getting everything. So if you don't have Action PC Baseball, but you still want to get a sense of how your team is going to play out and stuff like that, and you do have out of the park baseball. David Lando, how you doing? Good to see you, David. So this is a great game. If there's anybody that wants in future tutorials, I can also show you how to do it in some other games, including Pure Sim, which you guys should have, or, I've put it in there. You can do this in Pure Sim Baseball. You can also do it in Strategy Baseball, which I will be providing a link to. I haven't done that yet. And even Baseball for Windows. So can show you how to do it in a number of programs. It's really, really fun. You can do it in old time baseball. I'm not sure that you can do this in PC Replay. I've heard that it's pretty limited as far as taking teams from different sets, and I don't play PC Replay baseball, so I would leave that up to the gurus like Bernie. Then there's Jamie. There you go. I'm guessing most of you guys are going to know how to do this, but maybe not. So one of the things that you're going to need that I'm also going to be posting in the Discord is I'm going to bring up this text file. And it's going to look monstrous and scary, but it's not. All right. So what this is, and there's also an Excel version of this, but I find the text version easier to deal with. And for those of you that have already done your rosters and everything for the Fields of Dreams, you've actually done most of the work already that you need to do. All right. So the nice thing about this is this gives you the player's baseball reference ID. It gives you his name, which this is just for searching, and I'll show you how to do that. It gives you his debut year and his final year. Now, when you're creating, when you're wanting to do a mass import into Out of the Park Baseball 24, basically what you need is just the baseball reference ID, the year that you want him on, all right, which you've already picked, and your team abbreviation. So you're going to need Out of the Park 24. You're going to need this database, which again, I'll put the Excel one. I'm just going to put up a zip file. You'll see an Excel worksheet with everything, but you also see this comma delimited file. The other nice thing that you can do with Out of the Park Baseball is, let's say that and this is how I created the Bats League. If you decide then, okay, I want to play this again and mix it up, just what you could do, you could export all of these into a text file, put them into another game that accepts text files. You could just dump everybody into a free agent pool, redraft. So there's a lot of things that you can do, both in Out of the Park Baseball and Action PC Baseball, to play around with your rosters, but even more so to, maybe you want to create your very, very own type of league whatever it is. Maybe, and you shouldn't, by the way, like the quick start that comes with Out of the Park Baseball. It's an all-time great. There's a much better one that I've shown on the channel and will continue to show. You literally have an infinite universe of possibilities here. Big Clue says, A stream. Yeah, absolutely. Baseball demos. If the 1986 Pirates hit 27 straight flyouts to right field against the Mets, could you say Strawberry Fields Forever? That definitely counts. Bernie asks, how about joining me tonight as a co-broadcaster for the 1914 Out of the Park game? Yes, of course. Bernie, you let me know what time works for you. All right. Because I don't have to, I don't have to be at work tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. As you guys know, I work Tuesday through Friday, like 1 to 9:30 or 10 or whatever. And then Saturdays I work 8:30 to like 4 or 4:30. So, yeah, I mean, I've got a lot more time. This is why I like second shift jobs. I don't have to get up early. My weekend actually ends up being longer than a normal, just Saturday, Sunday weekend. So yeah, Bernie, thank you. I'm really, really honored by that. Mike Silva watching. Mike is, of course, going to know how to do this already. So maybe he's just listening at work to hang out, or maybe just to, whatever, say, hey, you could try it this way or whatever. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to open a new text file. All right. And I would say just do it in your desktop. So just do a new text file, because this is where you're going to save your players. All right. So we're just going to type in players draft. Okay. Again, the difference with this is you're actually putting players where you want them to go. So you saw last night when I did in the broadcast how I showed Buckshot and the rest of you how to do this in Action PC Baseball. This is how you do it Out of the Park. Again, if anybody wants this for any other baseball game that I play that happens to have the seasons, even old-time baseball, if you want to just really have some fun. The problem with old-time baseball, of course, is that you're only up to 1981. So, but who knows? Maybe you want to just learn how to create custom leagues. I love to do this. This is like right in my wheelhouse. All right. So let's get started. You've got two text files, and actually let's get the other text file up as well and make it blank, and we'll make it a little smaller. I was just going to demonstrate doing the Bats League, but we're just going to have some fun. Maybe I'll borrow somebody's rosters from Discord. Okay. So we're going to minimize that. And so we're good to go there. And let's start first from the Out of the Park side things. Now, in Out of the Park Baseball, you can import players one at a time. So, for instance, with the quick start, the all-time great quick start that comes with Out of the Park Baseball, which is absolutely horrible. Sorry, guys. I love Out of the Park Baseball, but that thing is really bad. No Ernie Banks and the Cubs and so forth and so forth. Found a better one, but this is a great way to make your own. You want to create, you want to hand create with players from a certain range of years. You can do it. Goofy things. You want to make a team of players just, largely named Willie versus, a team of players largely named Sam. I mean, it's a really fun, creative thing. But today's focus will be how to use Out of the Park Baseball to help creating your, creating your rosters. I would also suggest that, if you wanted to, and there's a number of ways to do this, right? But, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways, because there's a way to do this really, really simply by bringing in just the 4 teams. But I want to show you this way because I'm hoping that people will find this to be something a lot of fun. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to select new custom game. All right. Because historical game is just going to give you a replay, and the standard game, of course, will allow you to play with, at this point now it's a past season, but 2023. And then, quick starts, of course, are just what they are. Okay. So it's new custom game. This is the real power of Out of the Park Baseball 24, 23, and 22, and whatever. I don't worry about challenge mode. You're not going to need it for this. Okay. So the thing that throws people off is seeing this fictional, because they think, oh my God, it's only fictional players. But if you read any structure you want, choose the number of sub-leagues, division teams, fictional or historical. So that's the big one right there. Or select one of the real-world setups. Players are real, historical, or entirely fictional, created by the out-of-park player generator. You may also add minor leagues, select financial rules, schedule length, and other league options. So this is, when they talk about the Infinite Baseball Sandbox, this is really it right here, fictional. Okay. All right. So we're working with 4 teams. So we can start here. We can do with a predefined fictional structure, or you can set up your own. But for this is pretty simple. So just do 1 sub-league, 4 total teams. Okay. And then we're going to go on to next step. You do not have to touch advanced mode in this at all. Okay. Beatles, Murray Cup belongs to the Providence Grays of 1882. They beat the Louisville Eclipse 5-4. 9-game series. Yep. So there we go. So Mike was doing his players yesterday one at a time in game. You can do that as well. So there's a lot of ways to do this. 10:30 p.m. Eastern sounds great, Bernie. Sounds great. So there's a number of ways you can do this. Okay. So let's go to our next step. All right. All right. Now, maybe, you know what? I think I'm going to show you the easy way first, and then I'm going to show you the more fun way. Okay. So right now, though, what it's done is it's created just 4 random teams. You can randomize everything up, whatever. The important thing to remember, and I'll reiterate this when we get to the second part using the text files, is you really have to just remember your team abbreviations. That's the only thing you really have to do. Turn off minor leagues. You don't need them for this little exercise. And in fact, once everybody's rosters are up, that's when actually this is really going to come into play. So, you know, this might be a video that you want to come back and visit after everybody's rosters are up, because then you can do a mass import of the entire league into Out of the Park Baseball and have fun with it. Again, if you have Action PC Baseball, maybe there's no need for you to do this. All right. So let's switch to historical team collection. All right. And I'm going to steal somebody's right here. Okay. Because that's what I like to do. It's fun. So let's go to the Field of Dreams League here in the Discord. And we're going to use Bernie. Okay. So he's got the 2008 Milwaukee Brewers. So basically, this is super, super simple. Because all we're going to do then is just dump these guys into a draft pool. Okay, so 2008, and we're going to look for the Milwaukee Brewers. All right, and then let's see what else does he have. The 1978 Texas Rangers. So this is similar to the way you would do it in Action PC Baseball. Similar, and there's actually a number of ways to do it in that as well. All right, so then we go to Texas Rangers. What else does he have? The 1944 Boston Red Sox. All right, so let's do that. All right, and there they are. And his final team, the 1961 Cincinnati Reds. Okay, so 1961 and Cincinnati Reds. So this is the, again, the sort of quicker way to do it, because we already know, right? You already know what teams you have, okay? So you're not really going to have to bother with this at all. Okay, so let's go to next step. All right. And let me switch back in case there's any questions. Yeah, no dead ball for Bernie. How about it? Now here, again, I'm not sure how Steve and Big Clue are going to be doing the normalization or whatever. Okay. So this will normalize your entire league, going all the way back to 1871. So choose what you want here. I'm just going to leave it at modern settings. So we'll just leave this at 2023. Do check hold inaugural fantasy draft. You have to do this. Okay. So boom, there we go. Okay. None of this matters because you're not actually going to play anything out. But if you were creating a custom league with these teams and you wanted it to be a year-long, a season, so different than doing a tournament, then this is when you set up. But we're not going to really worry too much about this. 3 games is fine because I have another suggestion for testing rosters, says the guy who hasn't even gotten his up yet. Let's click next step. Again, I like to do 1 to 100. I know some people like 20 to 80, which is the major league ranking thing, whatever. Okay. Player, again, none of this matters. I don't use face gen, so I turn all this off. Okay. And then I just leave this checked, enable automatic evolution of the league. Let's click next step. Okay. And we're just going to call this demo draft or something. Okay. Now, the other thing is, when do you want to autosave once a year? So if you're setting up projects and you want to be able to sort of watch replays and stuff, this is one of the first steps that you need to do. So you can just click daily. So we just leave it like that. I never play as GM. You don't have to. I play as manager because that way you don't get this vexing, oh, this person is on waivers and you have to go find. And the way it's set up right now, you really can't. It's really hard to find it. Here is the trick, playing commissioner mode. Commissioner mode is it's God mode is what it is. All right. If you want to do cannot be fired for this, we'll do cannot be fired. And we're going to do next step. Okay. And now it's going to tell you to pick a team, which is fine. Okay. And you guys, we've already done videos on how to change logos and stuff like that. So fictional leagues, it doesn't, unfortunately, doesn't read Mike's 2 mods. But for the purposes of this, you're not going to be really watching games or anything like that. So I'm going to take the Reds. Again, doesn't matter. So we're going to start game. Okay. So if we look here, if we go to franchise stars, or we go to fictional baseball league, which is, you can always change that name. Okay, we're not going to go to this inaugural draft just yet. But if we go to scores, we would actually have to play up to, you know, through spring training, what have you. But what I want to show you here is that your teams are in here. When we click them, right, we can go to lineups, which aren't set yet. So let's just go to home and we can meet the team. And you're going to see a few of the guys popping up here already. So, you know, there's Joe Cronin, and it just keeps going and going and going. Okay. But that's not really what's important. Let's just set these lineups. I'm just going to let the AI do this. All right. Once it decides it wants to do it. So we'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. All right. So anyhow, all 4 teams are in here. Okay. But if you want to dump them all into a draft, then you just go here to the FBL thing. All right. And you want to go to transactions. And when you go to transactions, you go to actions, and you can dump all these guys into a draft pool. But here's everybody. Here's everybody from those 4 teams. So click. There's Vada Pinson. Okay. All right. So I know you're with me so far. You can also export these free agents into a text file if you want. All right. So I don't want to delete these free agents. But again, I'm doing this in the sort of backwards way. Yeah, no dead ball for Bernie. That's pretty cool, I think, though, because Bernie's been doing a lot of dead ball and says he's really happy with his roster picks or whatever. So good stuff. All right, so that's one way to do this. And when you drop these into when you drop all the free agents in the draft pool, then this is pretty easy. Then you would go to just, you know, your kind of inaugural draft. Okay. That's how you do it. You can set the draft for serpentine or straight or whatever. So one fun exercise might be to to just let this draft out of your larger pool of players, right? That you've done. Okay, so you could do that, which I think is really, really fun. You can do the same thing in Action PC Baseball. Okay. Hey, there he goes. There's Legend Sports Universe joining us here today. So this is the easier way to do it. Okay. But now there's another way that's not so bad, which actually opens up a lot more possibilities, because this way you're not really, having to go, you're not just limited to just teams, because now we're going to get down to the player level. Okay. So we're going to sort of rewind the clock, and we're going to go back to the start screen, and we're going to run through this, because this one takes a little bit more time, but it's certainly worth it. So again, we're going to go to new custom game, and this time you're going to see everybody released. So we're going to go to fictional. All right. Once again, we're just going to go to 4 total teams for right now, because this is just for you to do your teams. All right. Let's go to next step. And we're going to be clicking through next step pretty quickly here. All right. So we want to remember New York, NY, Bro, LA, and Houston, right? Hopefully I'll remember those 3. I should probably write them down, but whatever. Okay. In fact, I will. We'll just put it. This might seem like a lot of work, but when you see what you can do with the mass import, I think you'll really like it, and definitely want to try something like this. Okay. So the reason that you have to remember only the team abbreviations is because when we go to that text file, you want to know, right, what teams, to put these on or what have you. Okay. And you can put everybody on one team if you want, or mix and match them. All right. So right now there are no players. Again, turn off minor leagues. Turn them off, turn them off, turn them off. Okay. You want to rename this something. So we'll just call this, draft 667. There we go. We want 666. All right. Next step. All right. Again, hold inaugural fantasy draft. Make sure you have that checked. Click next. You want to set if you want to set your ratings, set them to taste. I like 1 to 100. Okay. Again, face gen is for this is because you're not going to play any games. Like, you're not going to watch any on-field games unless you really want to. Okay. And again, we'll call this draft 667, and we'll just leave this, whatever the starting year, really, really, really doesn't matter at this point. Okay. You could play with this in terms of, just for your own sake, but it's normalizing the league settings you might want to mess around with. Again, I don't know how Steve Tate and Big Clue are doing that. Make sure to play in commissioner mode, and also make sure to click cannot be fired, at least for this. But commissioner mode is the most important thing. Make sure that you put yourself in manager mode, not GM mode. You don't need GM mode. Next step. All right. Now it's creating logos on the flies. And hey, it's going to be a chance for me to pronounce it correctly. So we're going to be the Los Angeles Celtics. All right. And we'll start the game. Yeah. So Legend, you already know where I'm going. Exactly. Forever Remain 90, checking in from Germany. Thank you. So yeah, Legends, that's exactly what I'm showing these guys. Now, here's the thing. This is all filled with fictional players. Okay, let's go to our transactions menu. And there we go. These are all, right. Who are these guys? These are generated by Out of the Park Baseball. And there are people that like just playing, this sort of fictional baseball. I don't. There's too much real baseball to deal with. So I'm not going to worry about that. So what we're going to do here first is we're going to delete all free agents. All right. So boop. Now we've got an empty league. All right. Now, next is going to be importing historical players. All right. And this is where this is going to come up, these two text files. So let me show you what we're going to do here. All right. Bring this over here and bring this over here. So again, this, which I'll be putting a link to, and you'll have an Excel version and a comma delimited file. Let me make this a little smaller. We don't need this window this large. Come on over. Come on. There you are. Nice. Okay. All right. So we're ready to go. So again, this gives you the baseball reference ID, the player's full name, his rookie year, and his final year in baseball. Afternoon, Todd B. Good to see you. So 13 people checking in. From here, if you've already put your rosters up in the Fields of Dreams Discord or the McGreevy one, whichever one or both, some of your work's already done. Okay. So I'm going to jump over here. And all right, I know that the first person that Bernie wants, and I'm not using, we're just going to pretend Bernie's whatever, LA or whatever. Okay. And we can, again, put them all on one team. So let's do CC Sabathia. So I'm going to go here. All right. And then a nice little Windows shortcut that you do is Control F. Okay. Now I know that Sabathia begins with S, so I want to make sure that the direction of the search is down. Start typing here. All right. And I'm going by Bernie's spelling here. So we will, hopefully it is correct, our Bernie, right? Okay, so I go to Sabathia and I do find next. And there he is, okay? This window will stay there. You can just leave it there. See, it floats. All right, so here's Sabathia, okay? So what I want to do, we know that it's Sabathia 2008, okay? So I'm going to copy this. So the way the baseball reference ID works pretty much is that you have the players, it's the first 5 letters of the player's last name, the first 2 letters of the first name, and then the 01 or 02 or whatever. So up here we have Rosie Ryan and Rob Ryan. So this shows here that this is not going to mistake the two. Okay. I'm not sure why there's a little dot there. I'm guessing this is probably a typo. So I'm gonna guess that it is, and I'm gonna do like that. All right. Because I don't think that period belongs there. All right. So you're just gonna, copy it, paste it. No spaces, do a comma, all right? And then it's 2008, and we'll just say that Bernie's doing LA, all right? That's it. That's how easy it is, all right? So the next one is going to be Ben Sheets. So I'm going to come back to this window, type in Sheets. So the difference with this in Action PC is, there's a bit of typing, but you could also scroll up and down, just get close. All right, so now we're going to look for Ben Sheets. There he is. So again, I'm going to take Ben Sheets, Control C, boom. And again, if you've already done this, just copy in. Like you could make a row, especially if you're using the Excel spreadsheet. Just put in all your 2008s, let's say, and then 1961s, 1944s, and also the you can take cells from the Excel spreadsheet and put them into another spreadsheet. So it might be a little easier to do even in Excel, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to assume folks are pretty good with Excel and can do that. All right. So again, we have Ben Sheets. I'm not going to do all of Bernie's team. Okay. So once again, this is going to be 2008 and then comma and LA. Again, no spaces. Make sure there's no spaces. All right. And then hit enter. All right. What's Bernie's? We'll do one more. So John Matlack. All right, now if I watch what happens if I type in Matlack and you're not paying attention when you're doing this. If I do Matlack and do find next, notice it says I can't find Matlack. I know John Matlack's in here. Got to pay attention to your alphabet. So do up, find next, and now it's found John Matlack. All right, so again, do this. Do this. All right. Comma. And he wants John Matlack from what? 1978. So we're just going to put 1978 and LA. Okay, file save. That's enough just to show you. Okay, we're going to put just save. All right, let's close this, minimize this, minimize this. All right. Guys are with me so far? No, it doesn't matter, Todd. Doesn't matter. So as Big Clue said, if you get the player for that year or that team that you drafted, you get him even if he's on both teams, right? So and I guess whoever made that first pick would have gotten. So say Sabathia's on those two teams. Whoever made the first pick of CC Sabathia gets CC Sabathia. All right. All right. Now, then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to back to transactions. We're not going to go back to transactions. We're going to go to the team home screen here for the Celtics. Okay. And hang on a second. We've got to go back to the league. My fault, guys. My fault. All right. So now we're going to import historical players. We already did that. So what you want to do in this is it just tells you right here, select the historical database.odb file from the database folder. So you want to click this because this has a ton of databases. Click it. Click confirm. Now you get this dialog box. So if you're importing players one at a time, as Mike was doing, you would put in his baseball reference ID. Now, if you use this, you have it. If you don't, if you decide not to use this, another little trick on the fly is go to baseball reference. Once you go to a player's name, at the end of that URL is the player's baseball reference ID. But we're not going to use this part, okay? But we can say, or select text files containing numerous entries. So I can click here to select that file. Okay, now I'm going to go up, and actually, I guess I don't think this doesn't let me do desktop. Nope. So I've got to move this. I'm going to move this into another directory. My fault. I forgot that this doesn't recognize the right, because it just does your drives. So hang on a second, guys. And I'm going to bring up Windows Explorer or File Explorer. Just on my other screen. Again, it's not something you need to know how to do. So my bad. So click on your C directory or whatever, and then just make a new directory, right, or new folder. And again, I'm just going to call this draft. Okay. And it's now in there. So I'll show you guys. Right there it is. And then I'm just going to copy this player's draft, which we've done here. Okay. Already done that. So I'm just going to copy it. Actually, I'll just cut it. All right. And then go back here. Seems like a lot of work, but it's really not. Once you set this up once, you can then just do this forever. As far as right. So, and then I'm going to paste it. Okay. And there it is. All right. I can leave that open, close. It doesn't matter. All right. So I'm going to click here, select the file. I'm going to go up. I'm going to look for draft. Players draft.txt. Click OK. Import player. It'll be say player or players, whatever. So do I want real stats, peak seasons of career, however you want to do that? 3-year period, You want to import real splits, you can import player. And it's doing it. And they should have gone to LA. But now, if you don't put that city abbreviation, it's going to put them into the free agent pool, which gives you even more flexibility. Then you can start moving players in and out or whatever. Okay, so we go to team home screen, and there we go. We can see Ben Sheets. There's John Matlack already. So that's how easy this is. It's mostly copy paste. And you can do that for your whole thing. So for Bernie, who put his thing up there, again, just going down the list. But this might be helpful for you working with Action PC Baseball, since you know this is the format that you need, and you have the names. you could actually just create this text file, and you only have to do it for 30 players and put it in there. Or if you're going to put in your whole team, you can have your whole team there, because it will create a kind of minor league system. So that's basically how you do a mass import. I like it. I know that that's something that, again, Legend says he's used, and I think faster in a way than doing it at a time. Big Clue says when people are age need, it's more flexibility. Isn't that the case? And then, of course, up here, Steve made those great logos. You can go ahead and change your team and stuff like that. So, hopefully this helps. Again, not wanting to sit here and do an entire team for you, but you can already see that starting out just by doing the teams. I know one thing I'm going to do is play those 4 different teams that I've drafted. I'm going to sim, and I want to see how they do against each other. Then what I'm going to do is take some folks whose rosters are there and do this again in Action PC Baseball. So just some tips, right? Play them against each other, see who's playing strong, then pick just one roster. Sim a season out. I mean, we got a couple weeks to do this, and everybody put their rosters up. That you might want to do this for playing around with your rosters now that you have them, right? Whether it's this game Out of the Park, or this game Action PC Baseball, or whatever. I've shown Action PC last night. So Big Clue is letting you guys know, and let me put this up here, that he's reviewed all the rosters, Baseball Geek Discord. Every team has at least one illegal player that another team has the rights to. Please go look after the broadcast. Yep. I haven't put mine up yet, so I guess we'll find that. I don't know if you guys have any more questions about this. Something that is so flexible like this. There's so much you can do with this. So Steve is going to be coming on for Forever Remain 90. I don't know what time, to answer questions about the league, and also how player ratings are done in Action PC Baseball. Now, just for sake of completeness, and I know Steve will cover this in more depth, what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to show you one more time really, really quickly how to do this in Action PC Baseball. Okay, and you don't need, I'm not going to, never, ever, well, actually, this I am going to say this because of Sabathia. Okay, I'm going to close all these, don't need them, boom. All right, let's bring up Action PC just really, really quickly. Now, again, with Action PC, this is assuming you own all the seasons. Or you own the seasons that you've picked, let's say. All right. So what you're seeing here is one of our old Shanks leagues. Okay. So what I want to do, there's a couple ways to do it. I like to do it like this. All right. We are going to go to Utilities, and we're going to create a new blank league. A new blank league. Okay. So we'll call this FOD. And I just call it FOD demo. And what this does is going to create that folder. Okay. So it says it only contains free agents. It actually doesn't create. There's nothing in. There's no free agents yet here. Okay. So when I click on league, there's a couple of different ways to do it. When I click on league name, that brings me to this. The other way to do it is to click on rosters, brings up the same screen. Okay. Up here, change the league. So if you wanted to call it Fields of Dreams, whatever you can do. So I'm just going to do this FOD test. And I'm just doing it in caps so I know to delete it later. There are 2 leagues in this game. So let's just call one, Wagner. I don't know what we're going to call them, right? The Wagner, or this league, that league. So Wagner, Cobb, and you can set up divisions, what have you. Okay, that's up to you. But now what you want to do is you want to import teams. So go to teams and import teams. All right. So when you import teams, this is going to take you to everything that you have installed, not everything that you own, but everything that you have installed. Okay. So I'm just going to pick 4 teams because I know I don't have 2008 installed on here or anything like that. So let's say 1961, double click it. there are the teams. All right. So we're going to take the Cincinnati Reds. All right. We're going to import them. Now you're going to get this dialog box again. If you're setting up a league and you want a bunch of people in different things, you can do that. All right. And I'll show you. So we're going to leave Cincinnati up here in Wagner. Okay. So we'll just click exit. I'm going to click import team. Okay. And then exit. Make sure I did this. Oh, no teams have been selected. Let me see if we actually, yeah, there it is. So there's Cincinnati. And if I click on it, right, look, there they are. There's the 1961 Cincinnati Reds. Okay. All right, let's do another one. So again, it's the same thing. Teams, import teams, go to your folder, whatever you want to put in here, whatever you have installed. So let's go to 1976. And let's bring in the Philadelphia Phillies. All right. And we're just going to import them. But now what we're going to do, let me show you. So this is a little weird. It looks like it's a text file, but this is actually movable. So if I want to take Philadelphia and I want to move them down into the Cobb side of things, right there. Boop. Let off the mouse button, click exit, click import. And just click exit. Now look, Philadelphia is over here in the Cobb League. And there they are, computer lineup. All right. So however you want to set these up, and if you don't like these, of course you can always fix that. All right. So pretty simple. And then you can make all these guys free agents. I'll show you how to do that. Let's do a couple more teams. Okay. And then we'll let it go because I know Steve will get. There's other ways to do this. I think this is probably the best way to do it. So for 1929, since Todd B's here, let's take the Indians, import them. Yes. All right. So here's where you can move things around. So I just wanted to show you how to do that in case you wanted to move from league to league. But I'm just going to move Philadelphia back up here again. All right. And then we're going to put. We're just going to do exit. All right. And I forgot to, I don't know if I did this part again. Maybe I need to do this again. I'm sorry. Let's go to 1929. Select Cleveland. Import. Yes. Exit. Right. And then just exit. And there's Cleveland. All right. So I got two Cleveland teams. So let's just delete them. Yes. Delete Cleveland. Yes. 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 Sorry, one more. All right. And then we'll shut this down in a minute. I just wanted to get these two methods in here. And I'm going to try to keep this short in case anybody wants to go back. All right, let's take the St. Louis Cardinals. All right. So, and you can select every team if you want, but why would you? All right. So we're going to select the 1934 import one. Yep. Exit and exit. And there they are. Okay. So now you exit this after you play some games. You want to play some games, but there you go. There are your four teams that you selected. So what do we have here, right? The 61 Reds, the 29 Indians, the 76 Phillies, and the 34 Cardinals. All right. And at this point, you could play some exhibitions. You could sim this thing just to get the relative strengths, maybe, of these franchises that you've chosen. Okay. Now, last bit, if you want to go free agents and start doing some drafting and stuff like that, go to tools. All right. And do release all players. That's all you got to do. All right. Then do execute team tools. Click yes. All right. Now, if we go to Philadelphia, look, I can't make a lineup anymore, right? This is essentially an empty roster, all right? But you could use these, if you wanted, as placeholders to start putting players back onto here, okay? Now, let's go to our database for the last bit, just to show you where these guys live, all right? So, free agents only, and there's all the batters, and if we want to do all players, just do all, and there you go. So as Big Clue has been trying to impress upon everybody, you're basically drafting from your own player pool. And this is it. This is your player pool. And then from here, you can actually move these guys onto teams or whatever you want to do. Of course, look at any of their player cards. There they are. So now you have two ways to do this. You can do it in Out of the Park Baseball. You can do it in Action PC. If you want to know how to do it in other programs, it's pretty simple. Pure Sim. Pure Sim is very, very much like, it's a combination really of Action PC and baseball, or Out of the Park Baseball and baseball for Windows. The only one that you would have to use the text file for is Out of the Park Baseball. But I wanted to talk about that again because I think there's people out there that would like to try to create some handcrafted leagues and stuff like that. All right. So that's it, guys. I didn't want to make this a long thing. I'm not sure what time Steve is coming on. I hear the Discord popping off, but that's probably more about what Big Clue is talking about. Yeah. So last thing we just got from Steve is he's doing a broadcast today. So plan on doing a broadcast today to go through how Action handles player ratings when playing them out of certain positions and any other stuff people would like to see. So that's why I want to cut this really, really short now. So thanks for coming in. And I hope you have fun doing this. I know I'm not going to be in any hurry yet to get my rosters up. I really, really want to get my 4 teams at least into this game, if not into Out of the Park Baseball. I want to test them against each other, and then getting a few other people's rosters and putting them in that way as well and playing them off. If you have the tools available, why not? Why not do it? Okay. Steve may be starting a minute or two. Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you to Bernie Strom, to Big Clue, Todd B, Forever Remain 90. I hope you guys found this helpful. Legend Sports Universe, SGJ, Jamie, Buckshot, Mike Silva, Baseball Demos with his great Beatles pun there, David Lando, and Buckshot, first one in the ballpark today for no game. All right, guys, that is it. And I guess I get to do something tonight with Bernie. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And I do hope it helps you guys. Not only for this league, but for enjoying Out of the Park Baseball and Action PC Baseball to get out of the paradigm that you just do season replays. Try some of these things. Next time that I do something like this, I'm going to show you some really neat draft thingies that will also get you thinking outside the box. And that's it, guys. Till we see you in Steve's broadcast, and then tonight at 10:30 with Bernie and 1914. See you around the batting cage.